sing the Keds song. If you want shoes with lots of pep, get Keds, Kids, Keds. For bounce and zoom in every step, get Keds, Kids, Keds. You'll be a champion with style. You hit that ball a half a mile. They're tough, they last a long, long while. Keds, Kids, Keds. There's a pair of smart youngsters. Hi, kids.
Hi, kiddo.
Say, why do you kids wear Keds?
So I can run faster and jump farther.
So I can win more often.
Right. Always look for the label big and blue. Keds, Kids, Keds. That spells out U.S. Keds for you. Keds, Kids, Keds. Those shock-proof arches sure are neat. The right support for growing feet. So be a champion athlete. Keds, Kids, Keds. Product of United States Rubber.
Hello and welcome to Lunch Therapy. Today is Barefoot Tuesday, so kick off your shoes, kick off your socks, put your feet to the fire. Let's get into this thing called Lunch Therapy.
Welcome to Lunch Therapy.
I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 All right, I'm gonna get myself a modem. I'm gonna get myself some Keds. We had a commercial at the top of the show for Keds. You know, it's weird. Kids and Keds. Kids talk differently back then. They're like, "Hi, I love Keds." I've never met a kid that talks like that anymore. It's like a different, it's like an accent or something. Come to think of it, adults probably talk differently back then as well. The language is constantly evolving. Someday, people will watch this show and they'll be like, I don't know what he's saying. Some archaic language. And they'll be watching in their brain because YouTube will be in your brain. This is Komodo Dragon behind me. Welcome to the show. For those of you that love Komodo dragons, I'm providing them for you. Another thing that we're going to provide for you is next Tuesday in the Trash Panda Comedy Club on this very show, we're going to do improv stand-up, and we're going to have Joseph Ryan Martinez, who has been on the show. He's a wonderful comedian. He does a lot of improvisational crowd work, and hopefully we're going to have him on the show. Maybe another comedian. We're going to do tag team stand-up comedy based on your suggestions. So I want to have a lot of people in the chat room making suggestions, and the comedian will just go along taking the suggestions and just incorporating them into their act. And then when they can't talk anymore, they're going to tag out, and Boney's going to throw another comedian on the screen. That's the idea. Seems kind of crazy. Let's see who's here. Mama J is here. Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. Yep, I think that's pretty close. We're going to learn what that means or what... Whoa, that guy behind me looking kind of mad. He's like, that's not how you say it. I think you got the Komodo dragon going a little bit there. But, that's cool. Hoy, Claster fan. Claster fan's going to have some questions for us about movies of the aughts, part 2 today. At least my hair looks good. Yeah, I had I've had a kind of stressful time, but there are other people who've had more stressful times. My mother-in-law is in the hospital, so I hope that we're sending out love to Liz. She's recovering. Yummy, yo. Just Jay. Yeah, so I hope you all send love out there. The comments are delayed, so we're still on the commercial at the beginning. Golly jeepers, 1950 style. Right, they said golly jeepers. When I was young, we said awesome a lot. I don't know what Katie said when she was younger. Y'all ready for Valentine's? I'm ready for Valentine's. I got my shoes off. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, February 22nd, 8 p.m. to 9:30 at the Loft Ensemble. Another late show tonight. It's a live talk show. I am going to be the special guest doing some stand-up comedianing. Howard Aronin is going to be there. Hopefully, Katie, my co-host today, hopefully she'll be there with her husband, Guignel. Komodo Tuesday, yeah. Komodo Tuesday. I should have brought a Komodo, except that I hear they bite your toes off. That's what I heard. Maybe somebody can tell that story. I don't remember, but it was somebody's husband or something got his toe bitten off. I don't know. Somebody's going to tell me about that. February 22nd. Put that on your calendar. 8 p.m. to 9:30. There is a link in the show notes where you can buy tickets. And if you use the promo code Joel, or Joel, however you want to pronounce it, you get some money off and I get a kickback or something. I don't know what happens, but something really good happens. Today, something really good is going to happen. I am bringing on Katie Sweeney to be my boss today. Boss is still recuperating, still recovering, sending him healing vibrations, sending Liz healing vibrations. We're going to have some healing vibrations today. We're also going to learn what Nam-myoho-renge-kyo means. See, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but Katie's going to come on here and tell us about it. Just Jay sending Liz big hugs from Mama J in Kansas. Both of you from Kansas. Yeah, the Kansas connection. There's a Kansas pipeline connection. And of course, you know, it's part of the conspiracy to elect Joe Biden. For all of you know about that out there, let's move on. The proof is in the pudding. Here she comes, Katie Sweeney. Yes, Katie. Woo. All right, welcome. Look, you're in the co-pilot seat.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's great to have you. It's great to have you.
We're like going into space.
Isn't it cool? We're going to take off here. You know, we're just hanging out by this waterfall right now.
Right over the waterfall.
We got our steampunk, I don't know what this is. Some contraption for flying.
Cockpit.
Maybe we're going to fly through space, you think?
We must.
We could make that happen. Boney, could you get us into space? I think that would be really neat. Let's see. Boney, we don't have all day. This is kind of, I don't know, show that moves. Oh, there we go. We took off. We're out there in space.
Right.
It's good. Have you been to space?
I have not been to space.
Why not?
I'm a little concerned about going to space.
You
honestly. I'm not sure if it's something
it's
that I
easy.
personally would enjoy doing.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe you should talk to William Shatner. He didn't seem to enjoy it either.
No, what did he say?
He said, you know, I think what happened is he had this thing. There's a thing that happens to spacemen, I guess spacemen, spacewomen, astronauts. When they get out there, they look back at the Earth and they're like, whoa, shit, I got to take care of that thing. Get me back there. Because they look out into space and they realize there's nothing out there. And it's a whole lot of nothing. Blackness and death.
Yeah.
And then they look back at the Earth and they're like, there's life.
Is gaining this sudden perspective.
Yeah, they gain a sudden
small
perspective.
and
There's a
vulnerable
word
they
for
are.
it. There's a phrase for it. If somebody could tell us what the phrase is, I would love that in the chat room. Yeah, there's like some kind of, it's like a thing. It's like a thing. Matt Wright says, Keds now with extra Komodo dragon protection. I like that.
You know, my mom used to always talk about wearing Keds when she was a kid.
Yeah.
And when she would take us to the shoe store when we were kids, she would always ask us that. Can you run faster? Can you jump higher? And I just thought it was like a thing that she made it up. But now that I just saw this ad, I thought, oh, it comes from the old
It's a
Keds
real
commercial
thing.
in the
Yeah, our
50s.
parents were nuts. You know, my parents used to talk about Mutt and Jeff all the time. And I don't know who the heck that is.
Yeah,
Like, you
my
guys look
grandma
like
and
Mutt and
my
Jeff.
sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to call them Mutt and Jeff when they were like making fun of them being silly together.
And as we get older, people will not be able to comprehend us at all.
Yeah, who's Mutt and Jeff, right?
We'll be going, you know, I don't know what we'll be talking about. Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. That's the way back there. You wouldn't know who that is.
I don't know who that is, but I did know Mutt and Jeff.
Mutt and Jeff. Kukla Fran and Ollie. You got to Google it. Super
All
cool.
right.
You will be inspired. All right, so let's get on this thing. We're going to do some healing vibrations first because we got to get healing vibrations out because clearly the hummingbirds got to repair their wings. This is healing vibrations, and then we're going to go right into the explanation. Okay. Eternal machinery of life, the chemistry of parts, is something beautiful, and it turns out that all life is interconnected with all other life. I like it. We might as well breathe here, too. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. In through the toes, out through the nose. That was tough. I had to do a whole mental backflip on that one. Let it go. Interbeing. I like that, Guignol. Wow, that feels good. It's for everybody out there that needs healing. Thank you to Healing Vibrations. They, of course, have a very popular YouTube channel. And they are out of the Pacific Northwest, where all good healing vibrations come from. We inter-are. Inter-are. I like that. Thich Nhat Hanh. You know, the Thich Nhat Hanh used to say, there can be no lotus without the mutt. I like the way he said mud. He says mutt. I like it. All right, let's move on. So we're going to have actor therapy. Katie is an actor? Actress? Wait, do we say actor or actress now?
I personally say actor.
You do? Okay. So
Yeah.
Katie is an actor.
You know, it's kind of a thing where, do you call a woman doctor a doctress?
No.
I don't.
I
No.
don't. That would be weird.
So that'd be weird. And I think that these days, to me, it feels a little diminutive. Also, like maybe I haven't trained in this my whole life. And like I'm just off the bus from Idaho or...
So actress makes you feel like you're hanging out in the drugstore trying to get discovered rather than somebody who actively does it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm going to be an actress. Like I know nothing about the business of it, right? You know, I don't know, it seems illusional.
Yeah. We don't say lawyeress.
Right.
Lawyeress.
No.
Don't say that. But do you think that your gender, now this is a big conversation these days, but do you think your gender is sort of, it's more important what your gender is when it comes to parts? I don't know, maybe these things are changing. Because, you know, sometimes people say, I need to get an actor in here, and they really want an actress. You know, and people
Well, and that's the thing with language, right?
Yeah.
Is because in many languages, you do make it identify any object, a window, a door, is masculine or feminine, right? And so, then it would obviously you would make that linguistic agreement, grammatical agreement with whatever the subject you're talking about is, actor or actress. And I don't know if that's how that came into the English language, but I think these days we're being very conscious of language, right? And how it affects our society and those around us.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I guess we're making an adjustment. You know how we said like the kids talked in a particular way when they were like that age or at that time period, and now they talk a different way?
Yeah.
And now language is always evolving. That's why it's hard to really nail it down, you know. So we can
But it's
all,
fascinating too. I also love that, the study of language and how it's changing. Like whenever I do a Shakespeare part, I pull out the first folios.
Don't
and
you
so
love
I can
that?
see what the original punctuation was, and I look up the words in the Oxford English Dictionary. And so it talks about the first inception of that word into the use into parlance in the English language. And that's where I get super nerdy, is about
I love that. Well, a lot of times people don't
and
understand
then-
it if they don't do it. If they don't understand it, you know what I mean? They say, you know, they think "Wherefore art thou, Romeo" means "Where are you, Romeo?" rather than "Why are you, Romeo?" And it makes a big difference.
And how is the audience supposed to know what you're talking about if you haven't done your homework and you're not very clear on what you're talking about? Exactly.
You know, I used to have that book called Shakespeare's Bawdy, Bawdy. You know that one?
Yeah.
It tells you all the dirty jokes.
They even made card games out of
Did they?
those Shakespearean insults. I used to have a deck of cards that was just insults.
I think you
Yeah.
gave me that. I think I have that.
Oh, maybe I did.
Yeah, I got to bring it on the show. Start using
Yeah.
them.
That's a
Matt
fun
Wright
one.
says, I used to get so pissed when the mail came to our house addressed to Dr. and Mrs. John Wright. My mom is also a doctor and has her own name. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's a
Yes.
really good point. Really good point. Ray Scanlon. It's Ray Scanlon. So great to see you. So great to see Matt here. It's really a delight. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate that. All right, let's get into this because we originally brought you on because of the knowledge that you have about this thing that we were trying to say. We had Mama J on the show. We were trying to say it. Couldn't quite say it. Let's get into this actor therapy. I'm thinking good thing I didn't say actress therapy. Good job,
thing.
Boney. Good job,
Yeah, you
Boney.
better watch it. Okay. Are we
All right.
ready?
We're ready.
Are we ready to learn?
We're going to learn, yeah.
Okay, we're going to learn. So, first, I will start by telling you what the pieces of the phrase mean so that you can string them together knowing what you're saying. And I
Okay.
think that always helps, like we just talked about.
Okay.
So, the first word is Nam, N-A-M,
Mhm.
and that's like me, myself, the soul within me. Like when we say namaste, right?
Okay.
The light in me.
Namaste.
With the light in you, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So Nam, that's me.
Okay.
Myoho, that
Mhm.
is the mystic law.
Okay.
Okay, Myoho. Of Renge. Renge is cause and effect. And it's represented by the lotus flower, like you mentioned earlier already
Weird.
today, because
Weird.
of synchronicity. And
Yeah.
the lotus flower is the only flower that blooms and seeds simultaneously.
Ooh. Ooh.
And so
I'm
that
getting kind of
in
horny.
Buddhism, yeah, is because our actions have an effect now and later.
Oh.
So whether you believe that's later in a past life,
Mhm.
or just if I smile at someone today, they might smile at someone else, and that makes the world just that tiniest bit brighter. So everything we do, think, put out there has an effect now and later. And that no mud, no lotus.
What? No lotus. I love that. That's what he said. Yeah.
That's what he said. And then kyo is through sound. Kyo is the chant or the song, right? So what
Okay.
you're really saying when you say Nam-myoho-renge-kyo is I dedicate myself to the mystic law of cause and effect throughout the universe through sound. And that's why we chant it. That's why we say it out loud, because it keeps us present in what we're doing, which is this linking and syncing up with the universe, just like when we meditate. But some people find they need to do a full yoga class before they can sit still in meditation. I found when I first learned how to chant that this was an excellent way to actively focus the mind because it's very difficult to be thinking about other things when you're chanting Nam-myoho-renge-kyo as fast as you can, right?
Yeah.
As fast as you can. But first, we can start it slowly together.
Okay. I think we're
What
going
we
to have
do
to.
is 3 times we ring the bowl, right?
Yeah.
So we have
Okay. Oh,
1,
we
2,
gotta-
3. And then we do it slowly 3 times first, and always 3 because 3 is a sancho. I'm not sure what sancho means, but so
Okay.
we're going to very slowly just start with Nam-myoho.
Nam-myoho-renge Kyō.
Again.
I'm not going to say it because I think I cancel you out. I'll mute myself.
Oh, okay. Ready? This is number 2. Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. One more time. Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. And then you take off at the rate of a galloping horse. And so it should then start to gain momentum. Not you, Joel, just vocally. Just the speed. And so then, and that's what they say is the rate of a galloping horse. And in your mind's eye, while you're chanting that, and you can try to look at a blank wall or something stationary and focus the sound so it bounces back to you. And what you're thinking in your mind's eye is for this wish that you want to have happen. And it can be for others, it can be for yourself. When it was first told to me, that it should be, if I want to see if it works, right? If I want what they call actual proof in Buddhism, it should be for the thing that I've always wanted, that for some reason I've never thought I deserved or could achieve, or that for whatever reason I didn't think could happen. And I should start chanting for that, because when that happens, you're like, whoa, this is working, right? And they say, you start with 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening. I used to do it in the car because I was a busy mom with a little kid when I first started chanting. And so, and sure enough, things started happening. And my friend Tiana, who taught me how to chant, she said, and it will happen. Things will start happening, these synchronicities and syncing ups that you will be like, whoa, what is going on? And she said, it's very important then that you don't stop. That when the things might get a little scary or like, oh, this thing might actually happen, that you don't self-sabotage and stop, but that you double down. And then you do 40 minutes in the morning and 40
Is that
minutes.
called doubt? Would you call that
Yes.
doubt?
People call it doubt. When doubt begins to rise, chant more. Because what you're doing is calling out all your karma, right? You're saying, bring it. I'm ready. Bring it. Let's burn it up. Let's get through it so I can get to the good stuff, that stuff I'm really here for. And so, yeah. And then you chant with intensity for it, right? So it should be, like they say, the rate of a galloping horse. So it should be Nam-myoho-renge-kyo, 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 Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. And as you get faster and faster, it'll eventually be like Nam-myoho-renge-kyo, 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 Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. And it's Japanese, by the way.
Yeah.
This comes from Japanese, from the Lotus Sutra. And it's a separate branch of Buddhism called Nichiren Buddhism. And Nichiren was a 16th century Buddhist monk who saw that it was very destructive that the people were being told by the knights of the temple that they could not achieve enlightenment on their own without it being translated through those of higher learning and within the temple. And many religions have had these kind of revolutions, right? Where, I don't need a priest. Thank you very much. I can read the Bible on my own, right? Just to draw a very simple parallel. So this is a whole separate branch. And there was a great deal of persecution about breaking off from the main path of Buddhism, in which you were lower than, and you needed other people to guide you to enlightenment. And Nichiren said no. He said every human is capable of their own human revolution. And when one of us undergoes our own personal human revolution, it can't help but have an effect on others, who then have an effect on others. And so in the Soka Gakkai, which is the friendship building society that was created surrounding specifically the teachings of the Lotus Sutra, they thought that we can all get together in community, and we can have, and so it doesn't always have to be done in a Buddhist center. You can have, people over to your home and chant together, and that is just as effective in syncing up with the universe and what you're meant to do and be here for, as if you go to temple.
I love that. I love that. And I love the chanting. Whenever I've done chanting of any kind of chants, like when we were in India, we did that. And they had the accordion thing that I don't know what that's called, but that feeling that you get through your entire body too, of community and oneness. And I mean, really, I think that actually helps you kind of understand that oneness, because the vibration that happens through all of us.
I agree. It's kind of if you don't have faith, it's kind of this shortcut way into what does that peace and unity and connectedness feel like within myself. And so then you can begin to recognize it when you find it in other ways, when you find it in community, when you find it in meditation, not just with the kyo, with the out loud chanting, but then you can begin to notice and key into that if you've had some practice. And that's really what it is. It's a practice, right? This chanting. Do you hear that car alarm?
I do, but it's very faint.
Okay,
I think it
finally.
went off. I think it went off.
We're treated to that several times a day.
So that's living in Los Angeles for you. All right, let's get on with this. This is fantastic. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate you being here. And but you can't leave, because you're going to go through some musical therapy, and then we're going to do some animal therapy.
All right, I'm ready.
And oh wait, one other thing. Can people go somewhere in Los Angeles to do this?
Yes, actually, there's a quite a large grounds for the SGI, which is Soka Gakkai, SG International, Soka Gakkai International. And it's right on Venice, and it's kind of by Kaiser there, like near Venice and Fairfax.
Oh, yeah. Okay. A Shruti box, that's the little accordion thing.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Matt. I didn't know that. But yeah, so you can look it up, the SGI International, and they have chapters all over the country, all over the world. And Daisaku Ikeda, who sadly died last year, but was the third president of the Soka Gakkai, he won a Nobel Peace Prize in 2015 as part of creating this lay foundation of Buddhism, and was very lauded in his work for peace and against what are the most horrible weapons?
Nuclear wars?
And nuclear ones that make from clouds.
Nuclear bombs?
Weapons. Wow. And worked closely with the UN on that. So it's a pretty great place. Everyone is like,
sounds cool.
So lovely, and they're all smiling and welcoming whenever you arrive. It's just a lovely place.
I like it. I gotta go. You
out.
have to take us.
Yeah, try the chanting. Get your own actual proof. See if it works for you.
Jason Edelman says the next Buddha will be a Sangha, spiritual community. Does that mean it's not gonna be one person? It's gonna be like a bunch of people?
Yeah, maybe we're as a group going through that human revolution and enlightenment together.
Okay, now this is gonna be a pretty heavy question here, but we're gonna take it on, because this is lunch therapy. We don't back down. I wonder if you can please speak to what seems to be a contradiction to me: the goal of fulfilling a wish versus the radical acceptance of what is.
to me, I think before any changes can be made, we have to be in acceptance of what is, right? In other teachings, I've heard it's the 3 A's: awareness, acceptance, action, right? We have to become aware first of what is and what exists, and accept that. You can't change something without accepting that it exists. By accepting it doesn't mean you're saying you condone it or agree with it, but accepting that there are things that are beyond our control. And then that the wish to make the difference, to make the change, is the action. And one of the ways you can accomplish that is through chanting.
I like that. What happened yesterday with Liz was an example of this, how life, you can have your plans and you can be doing your thing, but then all of a sudden someone will come and just knock all your chess pieces right off the board, and then you got to start putting them back. And
right.
Being able to deal with that, being able to just be in that and exist in this world where we really don't have that much control in the end. And then also still having the vision and the optimism and to want to maybe change the world, maybe change. You see something that maybe you want to see it change, but you also want to be in the moment. I've been saying, you visualize what you want now to be like, and you accept it now as it is, which is the first step, like you said. And then, but also you allow yourself to imagine maybe another way.
Right. And sometimes that new way can only come into fruition if we open ourselves up to the idea that we need something larger than ourselves, something, whatever you want, spiritual, or to inform us and make way for that in a way that maybe we never saw possible. You can't yell at a heart attack, right? It won't change anything, but you can chant for someone's healing. And that's saying, I accept that this is an issue, and I'm going to, have that wish and that prayer and that energy towards their absolute healing.
Yeah, you take steps
Because
towards healing.
happen. And they don't usually happen by, us digging in our heels and thinking we can manage it by ourselves in an earthly way.
Greg Wurla says, wishes derive from recognizing and accepting things as they are, but wanting things to be as they should be. Nice.
Yeah.
Hoy, Kamala Lopez. Kamala Lopez coming from Cedar Sinai Hospital here, visiting her mom. We're sending out healing vibrations to you both because it's tough.
Nam-myoho-renge-kyo, Nam-myoho-renge-kyo, Nam-myoho-renge-kyo for you, Liz. Sorry.
Is Matt right or Matt wrong? He's both. He's questioning. Matt is an intellectual. He challenges me with all kinds of questions and all kinds of statements. Like he brings sometimes to the show. Good one, Howard. Yeah, good one. So Matt sometimes will bring somebody to my attention. Like we've had some people that, are awake, that had an awakening, and they are in the present, in the now, and they're living in that like Eckhart Tolle is. And that can always just be a really challenging conversation because they're non-dualists, which is such a challenging concept. Because they are accepting things as they are and just being in the present moment and not, they see things as completely connected and no other way. Like they've awakened to this thing. And talking about that can get yourself into a mind puzzle because we are also geared towards, in the society that we live in, we have to earn money and we have to, strive for something better all the time. And
we're
the idea of
spiritual beings living a human existence, right?
Yes.
So that we can grow.
Yeah. And so the idea of just being in the moment all the time is like, I don't think you can do that. I think you might.
Well, it's very
end up
challenging, right?
Sitting
To
in
say
the
the
mutt. You might be sitting in the mutt. A lot. All right, it's wildlife therapy time. Okay, sending out some healing flamingos to everybody. I love flamingos, let me tell you. I would not move to Florida for flamingos, but I still love them. I love those plastic ones that are in people's yards. Those are fantastic.
And some people go all out with those too, and they have like families of flamingos doing different activities in their yard. You've seen some of these crazy yards just full of flamingos.
I'm gonna have to Google it because I would love to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Flamingos live 20 to 30 years, and in captivity they can live up to 50 years. Who would guess that? I wouldn't think that. These are facts about flamingos, and this video is by Kate Gemmel, our intern here at Lunch Therapy. She's incredible.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Kate. We got to bring
I got
her
her
on the
that
show.
job.
Yes, you did. You got her that job. Yeah, and we're very grateful to that.
She's awesome.
Some flamingos breed and raise their young in extremely salty water where the carbonate salt concentration is so corrosive that it can burn the skin. Most animals cannot survive in these waters. However, flamingo leg skin can somehow stand it.
They are tough old birds.
Yeah. It's kind of like living in Los Angeles, right? Only some of us can do it. You gotta have thick skin. You gotta have really thick skin. Yeah, so flamingos are also able to survive in water up to 150 degrees Fahrenheit and as low as negative 22 degrees, which I don't know. That seems possible? Do flamingos like watermelon? All animals love melons. They love watermelons and pumpkins, but I don't know. You know what? What do flamingos eat? Do you know? Do you know, Katie?
I think it's a lot of shrimp, and I think that's actually what turns them that color, from what I've heard.
Yeah, you know, the more
white.
Yeah, the more of a certain food they eat, the more pink they get. So I think a lot of them eat cotton candy too, because clearly that's
could be.
That would make
There's
them
a lot
super
of them in zoos, so they would definitely have access to that cotton candy.
They would.
supply.
You're right.
Yeah.
It makes sense. They also eat larvae. And, you know, we don't food shame here. So just to be in solidarity with them, I ate a larva salad yesterday. And I mean, it's damn good. It's really good. Highly recommend it. Flamingos eat shrimp in zoos. They add food coloring. Oh, wow. To make them more pink. Flamingo leg skin is my new band. That's what she said. Oh my God. Flamingos are omnivores. Okay. Yeah. Oh, they're omnivores. So I guess, I don't know, but it seems like they only eat two things that we know. I wonder what's a group of flamingos called? Do you know?
I'm looking through the notes here to see if I can
Oh yeah, look
find.
through the notes.
Yeah. Oh, but
wanna
I have
know.
to say this while we're looking for that.
Yeah.
Ancient Romans used to eat flamingos and preferred their tongues as a delicacy.
Oh, flamingo tongue. We gotta
Flamingo
get
tongue.
flamingo tongue jerky. We gotta get some of that. That'd be good, right? You could dip it in your fish jello. That'd be good. Don't knock it. It's really fantastic. Oh, Ganil got it. It's called a flamboyance. Group of
Oh,
flamingos.
that's appropriate.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. They're flamboyant in nature, aren't they? Just the
Yeah.
brightness and grace. Amazing.
You know what the other thing? This is really crazy. I don't know, Kate Gemmel. I don't know if I believe this. But flamingos can run on water due to their webbed feet in order to gain speed before flying into the sky. Wow. That's heavy. Look at all of them in the snow.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
great.
the temperatures you were mentioning earlier. They seem fine.
Greg says he
They
was
do
first.
seem
with
like
the
they're
flamboyance.
huddling together for warmth, though. Like
Yeah,
here,
they
they're a
do.
little more spread out, but in the snow, they were very.
I think
close
it's mainly
together.
their legs that are just super industrial strength. It's the upper body. I don't know. They got to huddle.
They still have
Flamingos,
organs to protect.
they turn their heads upside down when they eat. They suck water in and out of their bills to trap food inside their mouth. Have you ever tried that? Turning your head upside down when you eat? It's rough.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do when you get hiccups? Is drink water upside down?
I've never been able to do that.
Yeah, I can't imagine it being very successful. I don't think we're made for it.
What do you think? So flamingos probably don't have a lot of hiccups. That's one of the great things about flamingos.
It's a great question.
It's illegal to
Well,
kill
at
them,
least
so
they can
don't
solve
try.
it quickly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they could.
Yeah.
Today, they're a protected species. It's illegal to kill them. You can't, no tongue delicacies. And they migrate at night and can travel 350 miles in a single night. 35 miles an hour. That's pretty amazing.
That's fast.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. You got any facts for us?
Yeah,
Who knows?
well, the very last one here says flamingos are very social birds and even form friendships with each other. Certain birds may remain close to each other for years and develop long-term friendships with birds who aren't their mates. So
Interesting.
they are a sangha
They're a
of
sangha.
flamingo.
I love
Yeah,
it.
a group.
Here's a joke. Flamingos always pass the DUI test because they're really good at standing on one leg. But can they touch their nose while doing it? I don't know.
Pretty good.
Oh, different species of flamingos. Greater, lesser, Chilean, James, Andean, and American are the different species of flamingos. Wow, well, that's cool. Look at the little ugly duckling. Wow, that's not very nice. I shouldn't have said that.
That's a chick. That's a
It's a
flamingo chick.
Flamingo chick.
He hasn't had any food-colored shrimp yet.
Oh my God. All right, quick quiz because we got to get out of here pretty soon. I was trying to bring this thing in under a half an hour, but I can't do it for some reason. Do you know
Wait, we
it
have
was,
one more flamingo. Is it okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
So apropos.
Go ahead.
Flamingos put on flamboyant dances when mating. They often entwine their necks together, making sense as to why they are associated with Valentine's Day.
Oh, and that makes a
That's
heart.
tomorrow.
Makes
Yeah,
a
we
heart.
had to talk about it. Yeah.
That was good. That was so appropriate with Valentine's Day coming up. Wow. All right, contest.
All right.
Okay, it's part two of Movies of the Aughts. Movies of the Aughts. People in the chat room, feel free to challenge us with the answers. They are multiple choice answers, so it shouldn't be too difficult. It's movies of the 2000s to 2009, maybe 2010. I don't know. Boney wrote this test, and I think he used maybe some AI or something like that. I don't know what he's doing these days. He's so into the AI. It's just weird. It's super weird. Okay, so let's get this thing going. Contest time. Are you ready?
I think so. I'm a little nervous. I missed a lot of pop culture growing up because I was a figure skater and a dancer, so I was never watching TV. I was always rehearsing or at practice, and so I get made fun of a lot. This is a little wound just for not knowing things that happened when I
Don't
was
be
growing
nervous.
up.
Everyone loses.
Everyone else knows.
You know, Ginny Sykes won last week, so.
Okay.
I mean, wait, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks? No, last week. Last week, Ginny Sykes won, but that's rare. She won a t-shirt.
Okay.
It's cool, huh? Clasterfan has the first question. Let's take a look at this. Clasterfan, he's helping us out with this. Guest. It says Hummingbird's guest. Boney, couldn't you put her name on it? I mean, come on. So rude. Guest. I think he's a little jealous. I don't know what it is. He's always jealous of the guests. Yeah, he always is. It's just a weird... I don't know.
Well,
He
Boney,
thinks
I'm
he's
a
being
big
replaced.
fan. You have to know that Get Yourself a Modem song, you're
Oh, yeah.
perfect in that.
He's
Perfect.
so good in that, isn't he? All right, so let's get this question on here. The question is, which of these is the highest grossing comedy film released in 2005? Mr. and Mrs. Smith, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, Wedding Crashers, Just Friends. Oh, interesting. Guinel says, Virgin. Clasterfan says, your voice accent sounds so familiar. Wow, that's interesting. I like that.
Let me know if you figure out who it connects to.
So far, Guinel says 40-Year-Old Virgin. Greg Wordla says Wedding Crashers. I love Wedding Crashers. It's one of my favorite. It's totally inappropriate, the movie. You know, if you were to make it now, you'd be like, you can't do that. But,
There's so many things these days that, like, even the Seinfelds, if you rewatch them now, you're
Really?
like, oh,
oh
say
no.
that anymore, you know, but they're still so good.
Yeah. So, but, you know, what can you do? Wedding Crash. But that Vince Vaughn, hilarious. And they said, Bradley Cooper said when he was on the set of it, you know, because he was in that movie too. He was like the asshole brother. He said he learned so much from watching Vince Vaughn. And one of the things Vince Vaughn did was he would make a fool out of himself, take after take after take, without any, you know, just to try and get the most out of the part. And there's some really funny, weird stuff in there that he does that I love.
Just really brave, just throwing it at the wall and seeing.
Yeah, just throwing it at the wall. And sometimes he would take up the time, you know, take the time to do it, you know, beg them for another take. And he'd come up with something, you know, even better. So it's one of those things. Wedding Crashers, let's see. Virgin, what are you going to say? Let's go back to the question. Now that
So what's the question again? Let me see if I... I don't, it's so hard, that time frame. My son was born in 2006, so I had no brain. My brain would have been mush. I would have had pregnancy brain those years, trying to figure it out.
We're just going to have to pick one. Have you seen any of those movies? Have you seen them?
I'm going to say it is not Mr. and Mrs. Smith, because I remember I was working in Hollywood when they made the switch of the statues in the wax museum, and they took Jennifer Aniston's statue away and they put it across the room, looking at the wax statues.
No way! That's so cruel.
And Angela, it was really nasty. And they had her, they had her standing across the room, like making this face at them as a couple. It was, you know, very Hollywood and gross, but I don't think it was that, because that was later. So I think I'm going to also go with 40-Year-Old Virgin.
You are? Okay, 40-Year-Old Virgin. We're going to have to get the answer from Clasterfan. Let's see who, we're going to see who won. I'm going to just scroll back through when we find out. Wedding Crashers, Mary Marks. Hi, Mary Marks. Yay. Mary is a new Patreon of the show. Really appreciate the support. We dropped a secret teaser trailer just to the Patreons this last week of the new show that we're developing. Guinel says, are we doing a contest or what? We've got that there. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Have you seen the new show, Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
No, I haven't.
I don't know
if it's just a remake. There's so many remakes, or if it's actually different. Yeah.
Oh, John McCory's watching from Kenya. He has a ministry there in Kenya. Thank you for being here, John. You can check out his Facebook page and see what's happening there. Welcome all the way from Kenya. That's cool.
Super cool.
Pregnancy brain is superior, says Katie. Did we find out the answer, Clasterfan? It's hard. Oh, the answer is C, Wedding Crashers. Okay. Yay! You didn't win. Oh, no.
And I
but
didn't win. But I didn't have the expectation of winning, so it's all right.
Oh, my God. You gotta start chanting maybe next time. I'm
going to chant to win contests.
Let's see who won. Mary Marks won. Kamala won. Greg Wordla. Guinel. Did not win. Runs in the family. Maybe he wasn't paying attention either while he was doing his skating. Could be. I don't know what his excuse is. He was never as much of a skater. Yay! All right, so now we're going to move on to one more question, because we have to end the show, unfortunately. That was super fun, though. Here's one from Boney. Which movie is a musical adaptation of the Broadway show based on the songs of ABBA? I mean, you gotta know this one, right?
I know it.
This one.
It's Mamma Mia.
Okay, Mamma Mia. I'm going to give you that point because you answered so fast, and it was totally cheating with the... Greg says A. Greg totally got it, too. I'm still going to give her a point because, you know, Mamma Mia. We're going to have one more question because that one was kind of easy. Mamma Mia.
Oh, I was supposed to wait for everybody else to guess?
No, what we do sometimes is we close you close your eyes, but in this case, since it's multiple choice, if you get it, because a lot of times the hummingbirds, they choose every single one of them. So we got to come up with a better way to do the contest. Every time I say this. And Boney, he just won't figure it out. He's got to ask Chat GPT or something. All right, let's do one more question. How about this one? Which movie was a biopic of the legendary singer Johnny Cash, played by Joaquin Phoenix?
I know it. Can I say it?
Yeah, say it.
Walk the Line.
Walk the Line. Let's see what the chat room says. Chat room says A, walk the line. That's what Guignel says. Wordless says A. You know, I'm going to have to give you both a point on that one. I know this is just a terrible game show. We're going to ask one more question. I hope it's a good one. Let me see if I got a good one.
So good in that, though.
Oh, my God. Just the idea of playing Johnny Cash is terrifying. But then also the way she was also really very good. But also like his voice and I think he did a bunch of the singing in it and stuff. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix, let's face it, he's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
He is amazing.
He's amazing and enigmatic, you know? He keeps the mystery about him and
well, and he doesn't do all the same parts over and over again. His parts are so different from each other, the roles that he plays.
He's also super gracious, it seems. You know, like he won the Academy Award, what was it, for the Joker? And he just, you know, acknowledged everybody. I thought that was so cool. Claster fan, you got one more for us to break the tie? Let's see if he does. You know there's a delay. You know that, right, Katie? There's a delay in the chat. So it's never fair.
Yes.
It's never fair.
I know that from watching. Yeah.
Someday the internet will solve this problem that we have. I don't know whether it's a delay so that I can beep things or something. I guess I couldn't. Boney, can you even do that? No, you can't do that. Is it a delay in case we have something but it's such a short delay. It's like 4 seconds or something. So it doesn't make sense.
You'd have to really get on it.
I think it might just be processing or something.
Yeah.
Taylor Hackford, the co-producer and director of 2004's Ray, directed which popular Chicano film classic, Mi Vida Loca, Blood In, Blood Out, Selena, or Born in East LA? This is a good question. I like this question. Good question, Claster fan. See, this is not an easy one, I don't think. Taylor Hackford, the co-producer and director of 2004 Ray. That was the one about Ray Charles. Directed which popular Chicano? He was also phenomenal. I used to say biopic, but it's actually biopic, right? I like biopic. Biopic sounds cool.
It makes it sound very grand. It's a biopic of their life.
Biopic.
Yeah.
Biopic.
But it makes
All right,
sense.
Let's see what the people are saying here. Guignel says D, Born in East LA. Greg Wordless says Blood In, Blood Out. See, I don't know it. I know that. I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't think you would call. Would you call Selena a Chicano film? Would you?
Well, it also says it's a Chicano film classic. So
classic. I'm thinking I'm going to go with A.
Go with Born in East LA on that. I mean, that's a classic.
That is a classic, but I know who directed that. I'm going to have to go with A. Blood In and Blood Out. Mary says D.
That's Born in East LA again.
That's Born in East LA. I can't seem to
but
keep
I just thought it had to be the classic because I don't know the other ones.
Yeah.
My ring light just fell.
Oh my God, that's great. Boney, can you go over there and pick up her ring light? He's on his way.
I kicked it.
Good job. All right, let's get the answer, Cluster fan, and then we're going to dance this thing out.
All right.
Greg says 1993 Blood In and Out. And so it's not even a movie of the aughts, right? So that kind of explains it. That it's got to be Mi Vida Loca.
I just mentioned it was 2004 director of something else.
Oh, right. That could be a tricky
That was
one.
tricky.
That is tricky, Cluster fan. No one's going to get past you on this one. Let's see. I hope Cluster fan didn't knock over his ring light or something and won't give us the answer. Wouldn't that be terrible if we never found out the answer? Here it is. The answer is Blood In, Blood Out. Greg Wardla. Wow. Who else got it? Who else got Blood In and Blood Out? Wow. That was fantastic. Let's do this for a second. Blood In, Blood Out. Matt Wright says, I'm with you. Joel also pronounced it a biopic. I also pronounced Westernico, the donut chain, Western Co. I probably do that too. All right, this has been another quiz that the hummingbirds won. They won. Don't take it hard though. They almost always
It's okay.
win. They almost always win. All right, it's time for a
I know
dance
that's
break.
not my claim to fame.
And you were doing a lot of skating, so next time you come on, you're going to do some skating because we'll have a skating contest.
Oh.
You know, it's like Usher. Who knew he could roller skate?
Yeah, that was great.
Isn't
When
that
he
unbelievable?
came out skating, I was kind of like, oh, it's so hard for a single person, for such a huge stadium. You have to make it much more active. And then he came out on skates. I was like, oh, yeah, this is it.
That was
This is more
crazy,
like
wasn't it? That was crazy.
Yeah, that was cool.
We're talking about, of course, the Super Bowl halftime show. Dance break time. Let's dance it up. We got the Running Mates, one of my favorite bands, doing one of my favorite songs. How could you go wrong? Dance break time. It's not really much of a dancing song, but I just love the song. I love these people. They are an extraordinary couple.
I took my love and I took it down.
We like couples here. We like single people too.
I climbed the mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down.
Spencer and Julie Brochard.
Over
are
in
their
the
names.
sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above?
Hummingbirds are
Can
not good
I
at skating.
sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life?
It's beautiful. I think in the future with the quizzes, we have to get them to vote so that they end up choosing only one. That would be good, right?
You have to have a consent.
Well,
It's very hard to do though.
afraid of changing, 'cause I build my life around you. But time
So
makes you bolder. Children get older. I'm getting older too.
Gotta dance.
So
Thanks everybody for being here today. Sending out healing vibrations to Liz and to Bloss and whomever else out there that needs it. And thank you for the vibrations today and all the information, Katie. It was really, really interesting to hear about that. I'm gonna have to
My
practice.
pleasure.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll see you all on Friday. For Interview Friday, we got a great guest. I'm not going to say who it is because last time I said who it was, and then something happened, they couldn't come. I'm not jinxing it. But then we got Mama J, so it was great.
And that was a great show.
That was a great
If
show.
you guys haven't seen that one, go back and watch it in the archives.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard.
We were
Mama J
just
is
laughing.
amazing.
She's so
Nasty
funny.
Mama J.
Take
Yeah,
it slow
nasty Mama J.
and take it down.
All right, see you all later. See you on Friday.